Hi everyone, welcome back to Slimming World Rocks, and I'm going to show you how I make my Singapore noodles. And today I couldn't get hold of the plain ones, so I had to buy ready to cook. Now as these Singapore noodles are ready to cook, they already contain some of the spices that I put in them before I cook them. Well, I cook them in the spice, so that stage is not there, but I will let you know what it is I normally do. So in my little bowl I have one pepper, which I slice lengthways, and I do it quite thinly. You can't see, I do it quite thinly like that, so I kind of just make them nice and thin. And then I've got three of the large spring onions, and I just do the same with them, slice them kind of downwards. Obviously they're a little bit chunkier in places, but just do those so that they kind of keep their shape as much as possible and they're nice and crunchy. Turn them. The end part, because it's quite chunky at the bottom, you can't get a piece of the long stem on all of it, but you get the picture. So I just cut them nice and thinly in stripes. I'm going to carry on doing that, so I'm just going to pause the video and I'm going to put it in here with all my other veg. Over on the stove, if you can just about see it, I have some baby corn that I've julienned, cut into little chunks, and I've got that bubbling because that kind of takes a lot longer to cook. So as this is a stir fry, it will still be crunchy, but I just don't want them to be hard. So I'm going to pause it, carry on with my onions, pop them in there, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so that's all in there now. I didn't cook them for long, but I'll just let you know, this is what I usually put in. I put in around 500 grams of the vermicelli or vermicelli rice noodles. I use fry light in place of olive oil. I sometimes put garlic in and sometimes I don't, and a little bit of ginger, but I'm not today because, as I said, the noodles have already got those things in. I'm going to put in a little bit of mange tout peas and some onion, and I've got some spring onion in there, but I'm going to put a little bit of red onion in as well. I've got some pepper. Now I normally use a sort of a dessert spoon of mild curry powder, a little bit of turmeric, and I sometimes also put prawns in it, but those spices, including some of the sweet chili and the kind of tamarind and things like that I normally put in, are already in those noodles. So all I'm going to do is make a little sauce, but not as strong as perhaps I would if they weren't already in there. And because sometimes I do make it with these ready to cook ones if the others are not available, or for quickness. So I'll show you how I do the sauce in a second, but I just wanted to show you the veg. I need to get these mange tout peas, or you can use sugar snap, mange tout, anything. Got to get those prepared, and a little bit of red onion which I've got in my tub. I'll do that and come back to you. So if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be informed when there are new videos. So these Singapore noodles, I do put in some sweet chili sauce, and occasionally a little half a teaspoon of chili flakes, because otherwise it will be really have a strong kick. Gary likes them a little bit hot. I don't like them too hot, so I might put in a quarter of a teaspoon to half a teaspoon, depending on how big it is. Sometimes I use 2 packs of noodles, sometimes I just make it with one. I've already got the meat of 4 chicken legs that I've got already cooked, and I've broke it all up and chucked away the skin and the fat, so all that you're left with is the chicken. I've already broke that up to save a bit of time. So I'm just going to salt out my peas and my onion it's very difficult when you're on your own to film while you're chopping, because I can't do it. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll come back to you in a moment. Right, I just want to show you how I normally prepare my mange tout peas or sugar snaps. The way that I do mine is just simply with a pair of scissors, and I just chop them. I don't really want them to be whole. I don't want them to take over the dish or anything, but I like a little bit of crunchy veg in there as well. So all of the ingredients I'm going to pop into the description box, and that will be whether I'm going to do both scenarios. So whether I buy the ready to cook noodles, Singapore vermicelli noodles, or whether I use the dry ones. So I'm going to put both in the description box, so you can see whichever one it is. So that's all I do with my my mange tout, just little chunks. I don't really want big ones, but I could do them lengthways like I did the other veg, but I quite like these in a chunk. And that's how I kind of prepare the baby corn, so that I normally just cut it into two, and then each piece I quarter, so that it's nice and bite size and not overpowering. Right, so I'm just going to pause the video now while I sort the onion, because I've just all I've done so far is the peas, but I'm getting quite a lot of nice veggies there to go in, and I just need to break up these onions because they need to be more kind of strands. I like them like that. Okay, so I'll just pause it now and I'll be back with you. Okay, as you can see, I've got just a small red onion. I'm not a big massive onion fan. I'll put a little in mine, but not masses, and lots of just fry light in there, or any spray that's a low calorie spray. Obviously, if you're not following a diet, you can use olive oil or whatever you want, but I'm going to do it with the fry light. So I just do those until they're softened, like sweated off. I don't really let them caramelize or anything. Whoops, sorry. I thought the leg was fully out on my tripod, but obviously not. So yeah, I don't do them so that they are completely cooked down either. So I'm just going to let them do their stuff on the stove and get the rest of the stuff ready, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Right, so I'm now ready to start putting everything together, and so I'm going to make the sauce, and it sounds like a lot, but I'm going to put in 6 tablespoons of light soy sauce. So let's move my chicken stock out of the way just a minute. So that's 6 tablespoons of light soy, and you have to be patient with this. Not like Gary, he's not patient, he just doesn't put the whole tablespoon in. 1, can take a while. 2, 'Could be some time. 3, 4. Wow. 5. Last one. 6. There we go. So that was a mission and a half. So 6 of those, and then I'm going to do 1 tablespoon, if I can get the thing open. It doesn't want to open for me some reason. Bear with me. It's not exactly like it's... Just going to pause the video because I can't open my bottle. Worked it out. It was a new one and I didn't take the thing off. So I'm just going to put 1 in. Nice generous one. Oh, there's a bit left over on the lid there. So I'm just going to mix that in. And normally I would put in a dessert spoon of mild curry and some turmeric, as I said before, but they're already in my noodles. They're kind of already infused. So I will, as I said, put everything in the box below. So now we're ready to start putting it together, and I'm going to add some chicken stock to that. I'm not going to add all of it because I don't know how much moisture I'll want while I'm cooking. So I shall save some and then use it at the end if I have to. So just going to pause the video while I get everything ready and I'll come back. Right, so I've got my fry light ready. In my pan I'm going to add my onions that I've sweated off. I usually sweat them off in there because otherwise sometimes it can make it stick a little bit. So that's that, and I'll move that out of the way. And I'm going to add to that my chicken that I've already prepared. So just a case of putting it all together now, really. All of my veg, make sure it all comes out. And I'm going to give it another spray with the fry light because there's rather a lot there. Give it a little stir around. Now I've got my sauce at the ready. I've also got a black tea, so I've just got to make sure I don't get the wrong one and put the wrong one in. That wouldn't be very nice at all. So I'm just going to leave that on for a few minutes and find where I put my chili flakes. Now I'm only going to put in about this much. It's about well, maybe a little bit more, about half a teaspoon. I don't want any more than that because I don't want blowing our heads off. Just want a little taste of it. So they've gone in. You can put more if you like hot spicy food. I'm not really a hot spicy person. So I'm going to put in my noodles. Just going to empty them in. Now unfortunately that my wok isn't the biggest, so I use my barbecue tongs from now on. It's the only way I can stir stuff now. And if it starts, because these vermicelli noodles, they can stick a little bit, so I'm just going to add some of my sauce. I just might as well pour it. It's a lovely sound. Lovely sound indeed. So I'm just going to give that a stir. And into this I'm also, and I'm a little bit far away, I'm going to put some bean shoots. Now I have half a bag here left over from yesterday. We had a chow mein yesterday. Oops, a daisy. Get back in. Trying to escape. A bit too heavy-handed with the tongs. Going to let it turn itself, I think. Now I do have some more noodles. Once this has gone down a little bit, I'll put some more in. Don't worry about the ones that have fallen out. And I'm just going to pop in some more of my sauce. I probably will use all of it, so I'm going to put the rest in because the chicken always gets into the bottom of the stock cube, always ends up in there. So I'm just going to put a bit more in. I'll save some. And it's just a case of turning it round, turning it over so that it's all incorporated. And these do, I don't know why, but noodles are much easier to stir than these things. If I were Gary, I'd be washing my hands and then turning it over with my hands. But he seems to have like non-stick hands, Teflon coated. So I'm going to put the rest in, and this is when it becomes impossible to stir completely. So normally speaking, see, I put in 2 lots because I wanted to make a big one. But normally speaking I would use 1. But this is the beauty of this. You can just they're all escaping me. Maybe the tongs are a bit too heavy. But maybe it's me that's just a bit too heavy with it. Or maybe I just need a much bigger wok. But it's a case of just letting it do its thing now. Keep turning it over. Going to put some more sauce in. And I'll just leave that to do its magic. Don't matter about the stray ones. But it's the one good thing about this is, you know, normally speaking I have trouble with it sticking. But today, no sticking. And that's the good thing, being on camera. You don't really want it to stick on you, do you really? But I thought, you know, it's bound to go all kind of wrong. But no, thankfully, it's just trying to escape, that's all. So that's all you do, just moving it around now. It doesn't take a lot to cook these. They're already cooked off in the flavouring, and normally I would just give them a bit of a zhuzh in some sauce to give them the flavour before I add them, but that's already been done. I'm going to do a Gary and bang it. And thankfully I didn't put my tea in, so I've got, oops, sorry, I have a cup of tea to drink. So that's basically it. It's on a fairly high heat, but you can, if it starts to stick or, you know, it's not happy, you can just adjust it, but it's not a bad setting really at the moment. It's kind of good. So if you want it just to kind of incorporate a bit more into that sauce and cook a little bit longer, I normally just put the lid on the wok, turn it right down, and but the one thing I don't want to happen, I don't want my vegetables to go soggy. They're all still crunchy, and I want them to stay crunchy. So basically that's it, and it's very, very low. I'm going to get my wok lid. It's very, very low calorie, very low in sin for Slimming World. I've turned it right down now, and I'm just going to let that finish off while I drink my tea. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy them. I have been known to crisp them a little bit as well, but I prefer them like that. I'm not really keen on them crispy, but I did it for Gary because I know he likes them crunchy sometimes. But there's crunch in there with the bean shoots and the veg, so that's fine. That's all I need it to be. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Bye bye for now.